Justin is saying, do you have anything to say about either alien love bites or soul shard implants, melding of energies and feeling another's pleasure in my body, finding their soul essentials in my energy? Yeah, there's a lot. So, as regards alien love bite, I actually, like, just in the last 2 weeks, have quite a few clients where they had a situation. They had, like, let's say, this girl is pretty much like psychic. And, as in, she has visuals, she can see entities, she can pick up on things, like if the guy is thinking certain things, she can feel it, so she's gonna like perceive whatever's going on with the guy. And they literally, like, just walk around the street and their eyes meet. It's not the love from the first sight. It's like, alright, what the hell? And it feels like you're supposed to be together forever. So, they get together, they live like for a few months, seems like life is perfect. They fulfill each other's needs, they really care about each other, both, they have amazing chats and everything else. And then out of the blue, the guy turns. As in, from the loving guy who would care about the girl, give everything to her, do things for her, all of a sudden, a whole different person. It's like becoming a psychopath, like narcissist, or like all of these labels we could put in a person. But it's no longer being in control. It becomes aggressive, starts hitting her, and, like, beats her up to a pulp, like, hardcore. And just goes nuts with, like, acting out differently. Everything she gave him is, like, now, like, he's throwing it at her, or, like, trying to steal more money and just, like, really fuck her up. And it just goes, like, beyond crazy what these people go through. But that's pretty much, like, a lot of beings are interested in your suffering. Like, I'm sorry, but you're a product. You're being seen as chicken or a cow. It's not like they care about you. They don't. Chickens provide meat and eggs. Cows provide milk. They like milk. They don't really have anything against the cows. And so humans provide loosh for energy. We can literally power up. Our loosh can power up the whole sun. Our loosh can power up their technologies. It can extend their lives and other things. And by them, like, there's a lot of beings out there. The Greys, reptilians, and other kinds of ETs, the Abraxas and everything else, like, ooh, just goes nuts. And with all that, it's like, hey, if there's any way they can take control of your life and mess with you, they will do it. If they find keys that trigger you, let's say, well, you're a really kind person, and you're really, I would say emotional, but you really get attached to people. You really care about someone. You really love them, and you give all of yourself. And that personality is easily hurt by being cheated on, by being abandoned, by being misunderstood, and, like, there's always a thing. So, they're gonna attack you. They're gonna, like, okay, well, here's what you have. You really care about people. So we're gonna give this person in your life that's gonna like, give you all the satisfaction. It's gonna satisfy your needs, make sure you're focused on what you like. There's gonna be happy, happy, happy moments in your life. Satisfaction, pleasures, and new adventures and whatever. And it doesn't matter how long it lasts. It can be for weeks, for months, for years, if you're lucky. And then there's a rule, let's take it all away. Like, really hurt you. If they kill the person, that's one thing. And that's kind of like easy way to go. But usually the other person that has the alien love bite, like, they make you fall in love. They have the whole script for what's gonna happen in your relationship, and it can be like perfect connection between both parties, and then one party will change. You might be more psychic, you're gonna pick up on stuff, and they're gonna break all the rules and values you have. They're gonna really target you with that other person that's being controlled. They no longer are, let's say, conscious of their action. It's like someone else implants the program and will change them, will change their behavior. Or actually, a lot of times that program was there all the time. It's the good stuff that was more of an implanted thing. And they're gonna, like, use those relationships to really mess you up. Make you look at good stuff and, like, hey, like, I feel like it's really the thing. And that person will hurt you so much. There's gonna be third parties. Third parties are also a thing. Oh boy. Like, okay, you left that person, and now you got to meet their family. And maybe, their mother or father or sister, or, like, let's say siblings, they hate you. They hate your guts. They, like, really try to mess you up and, like, tell things about you, or they try to control the guy. They're like controlling the guy with like, hey, well, she's really bad for you. She doesn't give a damn about you. Or you should dress like this. You should come to our house, and no, she's not invited. And like a lot of things that happens in like relationships, there's always the third party. There's always the third party that can really mess up all relationships. Let's say you literally just get an email and you talk about an email and it's gonna blow up in your face because there's some miscommunication, different intentions and timing and everything else. A lot of things can happen, but like yeah, these alien love bites. There's so many things that happen. Like I literally a lot of time just go on Reddit to read up on all that crap. Because you can go into like relationships and like read up on people and what they're experiencing, and it's like very visible. It's like very visible with what people go through, and like not all stories are that. It's not like everything in your life is like an entity, an alien abduction, alien love bite, and all this stuff. No, sometimes it's just us. Sometimes we just have triggers. Like hey, like hey, in my past lives, I really got fucked over. I've been left. I've been hurt. So yeah, I'm gonna be totally more sensitive in relationships. I'm gonna be looking at like, damn, I don't know how to talk to people. I lived for 18 years without really having my own opinion. I couldn't do that, like I wasn't allowed. So I had to start working on, can I have my own opinion? And is it okay to have it? Is it even okay to share it? Like for me, this YouTube thing, last few years, just appearing on Rich's channel and just talking to him and just answering questions, like, okay, well, I'm really glad that I can sort of like share some of my stuff and people can relate to it. Awesome. And there's people like, Aquila, you should get your own channel. I'm like, wow, someone cares. Someone really gives a damn about what I have to say. It's amazing. It's amazing. So like, I really appreciate it. Like, I know that I don't know everything. I'm still learning. And it's like, there's a lot of labels in life, but every day I'm trying to get better. Recently, I've like, it's all about me now, but it's my channel, so it's okay. I've been reading like Lewis Howes' book. I've been looking at internet stuff, and it's all about relationships. It's all about how do you deal with people. And I know like it's pretty much gonna be like, hey, I'm just learning to get better and understanding and be better for others. And like one thing is men. Men in my life really hurt me. like sexual abuse and emotional abuse, psychological abuse, a lot of things happen, bullying and all. So I have my own traumas and I'm trying to deal with them. And I've been afraid of people. I've sort of like isolated myself from everyone else. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to them. And to be able to open up, to be me, to be vulnerable and everything else, but at the same time, make it not about myself. Like, hey, I look at there's a lot of programming that's goes on in lots of ways. Like just today, like just an example, on Reddit I've read a thing where there's a woman that took her daughter, like an 11 years old daughter, to a restaurant, and some worker, like I don't know, construction worker comes into the restaurant and he's just like shirtless, buffed up and handsome, and the little girl, 11 years old, saying, well, if he's fixing something, I need fixing. It's like, so yeah, like we have that sexualization and everything else. And that's like fine. That's supposed to be fine enough, like, wow, like the girl really admires him and the guy gets compliments. But if it was the same thing of 11-year-old boy talking about men, or like, I mean, like women, or either way, to be politically correct, it's like, whatever. But like, it becomes a really hardcore thing. Like, there's a lot of like, it's okay, like, I don't know, like, what's the word? I forgot the word. Whatever. But you're trying to look at the world and everyone's pushing, well, men are supposed to be like this, women are supposed to be like that. And I'm learning like, hey, like, I know naturally I'm trying to do that, but what can I do for people? Well, how can I be better? And I just look at like, well, hey, they need to open up. Like a lot of men don't really have anyone to talk to, and if they talk about others and open up and become vulnerable, they get judged like, oh, well, you're a pussy, man up, and all this stuff. Like yeah, like it's hardcore. Is hardcore, so all of a sudden it's okay for a woman to be emotional, but if a man cries, he's a pussy, he needs to grow up, he needs to have some balls and all this stuff. Like, no, like, fuck that shit. Okay, well, man gets like really programmed into like hardcore, like be a man, so of course you have to endure pain, and if you hurt yourself and try to take care of yourself, like, damn, it hurts, I don't want to do that thing anymore, I have to take care of myself, all of a sudden like, well, he's not a man, what a wuss. Like, oh, fuck that shit. So like a lot of these programmings, like Lewis Howes' book, like Mask of Masculinity, is like what I'm looking at right now. A lot of examples of programming in society of how men are being really hardcore programmed. and they can't be themselves. Like they have to wear a certain mask or have a certain personality to fit the standards of society. It's like that, go into kindergarten, then the school, then the college, university, take the loan, and then find a job and get married, have kids, and then boom, their life is over. Like, no, what if I don't go? What if I don't want to go by the standards? What if I just want to explore? Maybe I don't want kids. Maybe I'm not like used to the whole thing, and I'm just gonna do my own thing. That's cool.